Welcome to The Critique, our special sports deep dive. We are breaking down the Week 13 Monday Night Football game, where the New England Patriots took down the New York Giants 24-7.
And this really wasn't just a game, was it? It felt more like a definitive statement on the completely divergent paths these two franchises are on right now.
That's the perfect way to put it. This was all about the split between a franchise that is absolutely rising, the Patriots, and one that is still very much searching for its identity.
I mean, you just look at the records coming in. The Patriots are 10-2, AFC's #1 seed, riding a 9-game win streak.
Right, a powerhouse.
And then you have the Giants at 2-10. They're already out of the playoffs, 6 straight losses, total coaching turmoil. It was a culture clash on paper before the first snap.
It really was. And yet, the betting line closed at Patriots -7.5, which suggested a closer game than we got.
Well, let's get into why it wasn't close. And to do that, we have to set the stage, because New England wasn't exactly coming in at full strength.
Not at all. Their offensive line was a huge concern. LT Will Campbell, their #4 overall pick, he was out. LG Jared Wilson also ruled out.
And then late in the week, center Garrett Bradbury gets added to the list with an illness. So you're talking about a line that was, running on fumes right before their bye week.
And on the other side, the Giants are just pure chaos. Head coach Brian Daboll was fired weeks ago.
Week 10. And then their defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen, gets dismissed right after that Week 12 meltdown. It's just a revolving door.
And that was one of 4 blown double-digit leads in their last 6 games. Think about that.
It's unbelievable. But there was one glimmer of hope for New York, and that was the return of their rookie quarterback.
Jaxson Dart, clear concussion protocol, and before he got hurt, this kid was, fantasy QB1 and second in the entire league in total rushing EPA. He brings a legitimate threat with his legs.
Absolutely, averaging over 45 rushing yards a game. So the hope was maybe he can make something happen. Maybe he can be the spark.
That hope did not last long. The game really pivoted almost instantly. New England gets the ball first, they drive down, settle for a short 22-yard field goal. It's 3-0.
Right, a decent start for the Giants defense. You're thinking, okay, we held them to 3.
And then it all falls apart. The very next sequence, special teams.
The punt return, Marcus Jones takes it 94 yards for a touchdown.
And just like that, any energy, any hope the Giants had built up with Dart coming back, it's just gone. Sucked right out of the building. It's 10-0.
That's the backbreaker. It's not an offensive mistake or a defensive breakdown. It's a special teams gaffe that completely flips the field and the momentum. It felt like the game was over right there.
It basically was, because then Drake Maye gets the ball back, and he is just surgical. He hits Hunter Henry for a quick 36 yards.
Beautifully throw.
And then a few plays later, he finds Kayshawn Boutte with a perfect pass in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. And before you can blink, it's 17-0.
That right there, the special teams meltdown followed by the rapid-fire offensive strike, that's the story of the game. That's why the Giants are 2-11. It's systemic failure.
But, there was a moment of resistance from the Giants.
The Dart scramble.
The Dart scramble. He runs for about 15 yards to the sideline, and he takes this huge hit from Patriots linebacker Christian Ellis. Late, unnecessary.
And the entire Giants bench just erupts. They pour onto the field.
A full-on bench-clearing brawl, almost. And look, Theo Johnson gets flagged for it, which is, typical Giants indiscipline. But that moment showed something else.
It showed they hadn't quit. They were still fighting for the quarterback, for each other. The passion is there.
Exactly. The passion is there, but it's completely undermined by lack of discipline. That single play was a perfect symbol for their entire season. Effort sabotaged by mistakes.
And then, to cap off this sheer weirdness of this game, you add that bizarre missed field goal attempt by Young Hoku.
I'd almost forgotten about that. He literally stubbed his foot on the turf before he even kicked the ball. You can't make this stuff up.
It just adds to this whole narrative that the Giants are not just battling their opponents, they're battling some kind of profound bad luck or, internal demons.
So let's dive into the strategy here, because New England's game plan was really interesting, especially given those O-line injuries.
It was fascinating. On one hand, you have the data. The Patriots are one of the most pass-heavy teams in the league. Their PROE, that's pass rate over expectation, is plus 3%, 4th highest in the NFL.
Philosophically, they want to throw the ball with Drake Maye. That's their identity.
But their game plan in this one was all about the run. And it wasn't just because the Giants have the league's worst run defense, which they do.
Right, allowing almost 6 yards a carry. It seemed like the obvious move.
It was, but the reasoning is deeper. It was a protective adjustment. With their entire left side of the O-line out, they couldn't just let Maye sit in the pocket and have guys like Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau tee off on him.
So the run game was also a form of defense for their quarterback.
Precisely. They ran all these off-tackle concepts: duo, counter, pin and pull. Those schemes are designed to force edge rushers to engage blockers immediately. It slows down their path to the QB.
So it not only exploited the Giants' weakness, it protected their own. That's just smart, efficient coaching from Mike Vrabel. It shows you how to win ugly.
Exactly. It's not always about airing it out. It's about finding the path of least resistance while protecting your franchise asset. Welcomed him back with constant pressure. They sent 5, sometimes 6-man rushes to just force the issue at the line of scrimmage.
And they played a ton of man coverage behind it, right? Cover 1, cover 2 man. They were basically daring Dart to beat them with his arm.
They were. They trusted their corners and basically said, "We know you want to put the ball down and run." And crucially, on those medium and long down situations, they always had a spy on him.
You have to. You can't let him extend drives with his legs. That's where he kills you.
And it worked. They contained him, they made him a pocket passer, and with the pressure they were generating, he just couldn't get comfortable.
You know, what's so interesting about this 24/7 score is that if you just look at some of the deeper analytics, the talent gap between these teams isn't actually a chasm.
No, it's not. And this is where the DVOA and strength of schedule numbers are so revealing. The 10-win Patriots, they were 17th in total DVOA.
Middle of the pack.
Right? And the 2-win Giants were 23rd. The gap is much narrower than their records suggest. And the reason is strength of schedule. The Patriots have played the easiest schedule in the entire league.
While the Giants have faced the 9th toughest. That context is so important.
It is. And it ties into the luck rankings, which is another fascinating metric. The data suggested the Giants were one of the teams most due for some positive regression. Their implied win total, based on their play, was closer to 4.4 wins, not 2.
Because of all those blown leads. They were better than their record showed, but they just couldn't close games.
Which again speaks to the discipline and culture issues. That's the difference between a 10-2 team and a 2-10 team. It's not just talent, it's execution and discipline in key moments.
Let's talk about the rookie quarterbacks, because that's the real story here long term. Is Drake Maye already a top 10 quarterback in this league?
I mean, the argument is getting stronger every week. He's top 5 in passing yards, yards per attempt, and touchdowns. His MVP odds are now at plus 120.
That's incredible for a rookie.
It is, and it's the poise. The guy just never looks rattled, even with the beat-up offensive line. He operates like a 10-year veteran. The composure is off the charts.
And then you have Jaxson Dart, who is almost the opposite. Just pure, explosive, high-ceiling talent, but trapped in this chaotic situation.
Right. He tied Josh Allen's record for most games by a rookie with both a rushing and a passing touchdown. He did that in just a handful of starts. The talent is undeniable.
But you have to wonder how much his development is being suppressed by the constant turmoil, the defensive collapses, the lack of structure around him.
It's the ultimate question. Is he a guy you can build around? I think so. But the Giants have to fix the foundation first. They have to address that run defense, the special teams, the discipline. All of it.
So what does this all mean for the rest of the season? For the Patriots, at 11-2, this pretty much cements their lead in the AFC East over the Bills.
It does. And it keeps them right in the hunt for that number 1 overall seed in the AFC. The Vrabel era has successfully restored that powerhouse identity. They just find ways to win.
And for the Giants, now at 2-11, it's all about the future. They are firmly in line for a top 3 draft pick.
The focus shifts completely. You're evaluating your interim coach, Mike Kafka. You're trying to figure out who the permanent guy is going to be. And you're figuring out how to maximize this roster around Dart for next year.
So when you boil it all down, the big takeaway for anyone who missed this game is pretty clear.
I think so. The Patriots won because they have a rock-solid identity. They are disciplined, they control the clock, they have an efficient, poised quarterback, and they're flexible enough to adjust their strategy to protect their weaknesses.
While the Giants lost because of systemic failure, it wasn't about a lack of talent at quarterback. It was about special teams, a historically bad run defense, and a chronic lack of discipline that completely overshadows any flashes of brilliance from their young QB.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The Patriots has to keep protecting Maye, especially with that O-line. And the Giants, they need a complete cultural reset, starting with fixing that defense.
A fascinating game that told us everything we need to know about where these two teams are headed.
And for everyone listening, if you have analysis, a script, or any material you need a deep dive critique on, send it our way. We're always looking for the next piece to break down.
We'll see you next time on The Critique.